Hello, Parkview people. Check out my shirt. Can you see my shirt? Here, I'll come closer for my shirt. Word all day. Laughs for learning. Okay, look. I showed you our composting garden that my wife put together last week. Pop your face in there, honey.
Hi.
There's my wife. And I got to thinking, we do this stuff all the time in class. I thought, hey, this is a kind of a nice little math lesson because we have this cutaway. And so I've drawn these on the whiteboard all year long. So let's do this. We're going to figure out the surface area that this sits on, as well as the volume, the amount of dirt it can hold. And if my wife brings it over here, we'll show you the plants we planted, just for fun. We got some tomatoes, and we got some eggplant, and we got some peppers. And I forget what those are. What are those, honey?
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers. And in the middle is the composting area, which is kind of a cool thing. It's supposed to be really big in like Africa, this whole box. Okay, so here it goes. So the length of this side is going to be 70 inches. So why don't we do all this in inches? Because it's not 6 foot. Here's 6 foot, 72, right? So it's not. It's exactly 70. So we'll call it 70. Now it looks like it's square except for that cutout. So I'm going to guess it's 70, but I don't really know. The truth is, I'm doing it right now as we talk. Sure enough, 70. 70 that way. So therefore, logic would tell us this is also 70 if it's a 90-degree angle in each corner. Sure enough, 70. And so then all the way over here, front across 70. Okay. So now we know that it's 70 times 70 to figure out the surface area that this box is covering. But this thing I'm standing in, we got to subtract it out. So what's this? What's the, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. It's like 2 feet. So it's 24, 24. Okay. So it's 2 foot square, 24, 24. So we've got 70 inches, 70 inches to figure out the area of the whole square. But subtract out 24 by 24 because it's not covering the spot that you stand in to get to your mulching. Okay. So there's that. Now let's talk about height. So you got that. We're doing everything in inches, okay? Everything in inches. We can convert it to feet later if we want to be more complicated. Height. These are, well, let's see. Isn't that funny? They're 22. See, here's 2 foot. So they're not. They're 22-inch heights, which is fine. So it's a 22-inch height. So to figure out volume, we're going to figure out the area of the base of the figure times the height of the box to know how much we fill. Now, if you come close again, you'll notice that we didn't fill it right to the top. So we're going to ignore that for the sake of this mathematical problem. If you did fill it right up to the brim, then you'll know the whole volume of this box, at least the potential volume. But we did not do that. We could do all kinds of different math around that. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So again, 70 by 70, 24 by 24, and then 22 on our height. So we can figure out the area of the footprint of the box, as well as the volume of the box, how much dirt it would hold. Now, if we really wanted to notch it up a mark, we could also do this. We could say, hey, well, what's the composting section by itself? So it's 12 by 24. So we could also include that in our drawing, our calculations. So we're going to do a couple different things. The total footprint less, what did I say that was? 12 by 24. Okay? Ooh, come look at the composting. It's fun. Look at it. So we got asparagus. We got a cork in there. We got avocado. We got mushrooms. We got gnats. We got bananas. So we're composting all of our chopped up stuff that we're making for our meals. And then evidently you're supposed to water in that compost that leaches out all the nutrients into the soil. So kind of excited about it. We'll see how it goes throughout this spring and summer. This is new to our other garden. You can see in the background, my wife's probably showing you our other gardens over there where we have a lot of other vegetables and so forth. Okay, and here's Guapo, because you want to see Guapo right here behind us. Our little new kitten. It's Guapo. And there's Ginger's over in the redwood trees. So you're going to spin around and see Ginger. She's going up the redwood tree. We're not sure that's a great idea, but we could talk about
Good girl.
height and diameter and circumference, etc. on red ridges. Okay, so that's our math lesson today. Is we're going to talk about geometry and measurement, and this wonderful tool, and we will work it out on a whiteboard a little bit, and then you're going to work it out on paper and diagram it and see what you can come up with. Okay, good job. See you later. Okay, so let's review. And I don't know if do you have a protractor at home? You know, you can get it on. You could do an online one. You could just look one up and probably use it online. Check it out. I don't know. Try it out. Or apps on your phones or apps on your tablets. I don't know. It's complicated. I don't know what you're dealing with. So I'm just gonna make some. I know you know how to use this because I taught you for sure, right? Okay. So let's do this first. Let's draw it out. We need a square, right? We need a square, and we want to make right angles. So I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna go. Let's see, I'm gonna go down. I think, yeah. So I'm gonna make my my straight angle there, and I'm gonna come this way and go like so. Now notice that my lines, I'm not using straight edge because I'm drawing a little bit bigger. Can you see that? Okay, you can see it, right? Okay, and I want a square. So measurement wise, I'm gonna go, yeah. Okay, so now same thing here. We want to go 90 degree there. Okay, good. So you've got the same kind of drawing going, and then you're gonna come in like this and come in like this. So that's what I want you to do on paper. Ooh, could you use Google Docs? Ooh, that just popped in my head. We probably use Google Docs. And then I've got my little compost. I'll put a C there. Compost little section in the middle, right? Okay. Because this was, so let's do this some measurements. We had 70 inches here, yeah, and here as lengths, and then 70 inches here. But we had 24, right? Here, and 24 here. That's a square foot. Agreed? And this was 12 by 24 on the compost. You got all that? Here, let me make sure you got it. Because I want to make sure you do it too. You could pause the video and do all that, right? If you didn't already do it. What was the height? Do you remember? Wasn't the height 22? Height of the box 22? So we'll go H is 22. Okay, so let's talk about strategies. First of all, we know that area equals length times width, right? Or base times height. Depends on how you're looking at the figure. But let's just say base times height or length times width or whatever. 70 times 70. 7 times 7 plus 2 zeros. We're talking inches. We're going to do all these measurements inches. At the end of all this, let's do this. Let's make an advance, like an extra challenge to say, hey, let's convert that to feet. And that's going to be a division problem. Okay? So length times width is going to be our area, right? But don't forget, you want to subtract out that shaded portion. Okay, because that's not there. You saw me standing in that spot, so that's not there. So subtract out that shaded portion. So, okay, there's a couple ways to do this. Here's how I've taught it to you in class. We can do area of the whole figure and subtract out the stuff that's not there. Or we ignore the stuff's not there and create a couple different triangles, or sorry, rectangles, right? Like that. In the case of this problem, I say it's probably best to take away that 24 times 24. Now look, I'm making some assumptions about this mathematical challenge. I'll stand back here where you can see me. I have taught you how to multiply both single and double digit. So you have to be able to do that to solve this problem, okay? Because in this case, I need to go 24 times 24, okay? I could do that several ways. Let's do that. Let's talk about 24 times 24. Because 70 times 70 is easy, right? It's just the sevens and a couple zeros. 24s are a little more tricky. Right, so here's what we're going to do. 24s, we're going to go we can go the 20s times the 20s, partial products, and the 4s times the 4s, and then the 20 times the 4 and the 20 times the 4. Right? So that's the area model. Don't forget. There's lots of ways to solve this, isn't it? 20 and 4 and 24. And then we solve those squares. 20 times 20, 20 times 4, because it's the distributive property. It's this 20 that's embedded in there. 20 plus 4 times 20 plus 4. 20 times 20, 20 times 4. 4 times 20, 4 times 4. So that's the distributive property. We have to make sure we get all those multipliers in there. We can also do partial products, or we can do the regroup method. Okay, we've gone over these methods, but here's a real world example. By the way, side note, as of shooting this video, I don't know the answer to this problem. True story. You saw my wife, we videoed it. We're curious. We don't know the answer. I'm looking for you to solve this problem. Okay, you're going to solve this problem and decide, hey, what's the surface area it's sitting on? What's the volume it would hold? What is the surface area it's sitting on without the compost? Because you notice the compost wasn't nearly as full as the regular dirt. Okay, that's another little side note. What's the surface area and volume of the compost by itself? So we have sort of multiple layers. Okay, so see what you can do to diagram it, solve those sub problems, show that work. Okay, you could do it on a Google Doc, okay, which I'm going to post for you the blank Google Doc. Sorry, you can also do it on a piece of paper and then take a photo of it and post it on the Google Doc when you turn it in. Okay, so several ways to solve this problem. Always, as always, just check in with me at the chat, check in with your classmates, and let's solve this together. It's kind of an interesting real world math problem that can be solved and thought about. Because we did, by the way, Colleen and I went, well, she went today to buy the soil to fill that garden. Well, we need to know, how is the soil sold? Well, guess what? It was sold in 3 cubic foot bags. 3 cubic feet, meaning 3 cubic, 3 cubes, 1 foot cubes, 3 of them. And so we need to know the cubic feet of that box to decide how much dirt would fill it. Okay, so it's just, hey, it works. See what you got.